Hi guys, how are you today? So today we got a special guest. We have Mary's cousin, right? Did I get that right, Sam?
Right, right, right.
Sam. Okay, I'm glad you came on the show. I really appreciate it. We got a lot to talk about. So a couple days ago, I received some information from a person that we both know, right? And I did a video on it. And you're here. I got some things wrong, right? And so we're here to clear it up.
Yes. All right. Yes. Well, not because of you.
Mhm.
It's not
Well,
because of you.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
So what was the one thing you want to talk about first that didn't come out right in the interview in the video?
Okay. Well, there was something that was referred to as, we'll say, messing around with children, referring to myself at some point, removing myself, and then my brother Demetrius, who's passed away. We were never molested by Robert Cosby. We were not molested by him. We were physically abused by him, in so many different ways, but it was not sexual. If I can say that, sexual
Yeah, you can
on
say that. So who Robert's your dad, right? The only dad you know?
what yeah, so he is my adoptive father. He came into my life, I believe, around 3 years old. And but he didn't adopt us until we were 18 and 19.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But he was around. He was a father figure from the time of 3 years old.
Do you
Okay.
call him dad?
Well, I used to call him Daddy, but now I call him Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby Daddy.
Now,
Robert Bobby. Bobby Robert. But I
now
call him.
I've talked to several people from your family and things like that. And to be quite honest, and people that are a part of the church and then ex people of the church. And to be quite honest, no one's really said any good things about Robert. Why?
Well, Robert is, first of all, he's a homophobe.
Oh, oh my.
So he has some major issues with that. Um, and he's a child abuser.
Hmm.
And I don't know too much about his background. There's some stories, but you can't verify them.
Mhm.
But the reason why they don't have good things to say about them is he abused the children in the church quite
Mm,
drastically.
mm.
And people are still suffering from it, excuse me, and they're victims. And then after my mother passed away, he just lost his cookies. He just went wild. He was kicking people out of the organization. He was demanding different things from people and pledging their allegiance to him. I'll tell you a story, if I may.
Yeah.
There was a time when Bobby Daddy, I'll call him Bobby Daddy. He uh, he used to go to church, and um, every Sunday, and my mother would say, "Hey, your suit's getting a little raggedy." All right, and he would say, "Oh, I don't like spending money. I don't. I'm frivolous. I don't like spending money. That's not something that I do." And so he would have holes in his suits, and he would go to church, and of course, we hope no one saw the holes in his suits. Soon as my mom died, $2,500 shoes. If you go up and down. Yes, we go custom made. I don't know if they were custom made suits, but they were very expensive suits. And I approached him in my mother's condo, and I said to him, I said, "Why are you spending this type of money now? You didn't want to do it before." There was a certain kind of conversation. Hold on.
Uh-oh, you're mute. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. My earphones tend to cut off. I'm sorry. This is a new thing for me. And so I approached him about his spending habits. His spending habits. What are you doing? You out of control. And so we went back and forth. I said, "Look, this looks bad. if you're going to spend this money, you need to wait for a little while. You need to let things die down. And so we got into it back and forth, and I let him know I'd strip him naked. And if he gave me a problem, because I was fresh out the Marine Corps anyway, and he had abused me, so it was a thing.
Wait, can
And
I
so
stop you for a minute? When you say abuse, what do you mean?
abuse, as stated before, my skull is fractured, but there are people saying that it's not, but it is. It. And then there was a situation. Well, he abused. I mean, the abuse is, of course, the belt, the fist, the switch.
Oh,
I mean, whatever, it pretty much whatever is available to him. If he didn't have switches at the time, it was the fist. But then, we had to go out. Black people say, "Oh, you go pick my own switches, pick your own switches, whatever." But it was so bad that we would have whelps all over our body, split open. There were times we didn't get sent to school. And so we didn't go to school because, we didn't want anyone to find out, that type of thing, whatever. Now, we hid this from our mother.
Oh, why?
Because we didn't want to hurt her. But come on, loyalty is loyalty. This is children loving their mother, not wanting to hurt their mother.
Yeah.
Okay, people might say that is crazy, but that's just how we were.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to hurt our mom, so we kind of took his garbage and we dealt with it, thinking that was protecting our mother. Finding out later on that it wasn't protecting our mother. And at some point, I told her, and she was very disturbed because we didn't come forward sooner when she could have dealt with it. That type of thing.
Wow. I mean, do you think is he still mean? Like, I'm talking about Robert.
Well, when he knows the camera's on, he's going to put out a certain perception.
Yeah.
He comes, don't this little onion and this whatever. No. Behind closed doors, the monster will always be the monster. And that's what he is.
Well, you're not the only person to say that. So it must be pretty bad because a lot of people have said that to me. I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah, because I don't mean to cut you off, but the thing is that there was a point where I said, well, wait a minute, can we prosecute him for the things that he did? But I found out that because it wasn't sexual abuse, we could not prosecute him for physical abuse. But I had 12 people on board that were willing to come on with me and go through the process of prosecuting. But you can't prosecute physical abuse, but you can sexual, and there was nothing sexual that had happened. So
now a person that we both know gave me this letter that you have wrote. You're saying that letter was not intended for the public. Who was the letter intended for?
The letter was intended for family members. Mm-hmm. The letter was intended for family members. There was one family member that threw it away that never read it, and there was one family member. The letter was, they got the letter and they didn't let the intended person read it. And so, they kind of, got in there and moved it out the way. So as if it never happened. So, but the family that needs to know about the letter knows about the letter. I think maybe Rosie doesn't know because her husband kind of went in there and made it so she wouldn't get it. So it is what it is. But I sent out the letter to the family.
Do you regret writing the letter, or did you get any healing from writing the letter?
I don't regret writing the letter because, that was, let's see, it's a good question. No, I didn't get healing from writing the letter. I was putting them on notice. I was putting them on notice because what it was is Robert and Rosemary's 4 children knew that myself, but Demetrius had passed away, was supposed to receive the 8.33. And they pretty much made it possible that I wouldn't know about that.
What's the 8.33?
But that's 8.33% of the estate.
Oh.
See? And so Ernest, Ernie, and Rosie, tried to prove that Mama didn't, or Rosemary, I'm sorry, that's what I call Mama, didn't adopt Demetrius and I and Demetrius. She didn't adopt us. Okay? They were going through the courts trying to prove, because you notice he didn't mention me or Demetrius in his interview.
Who?
You see? Ernest.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said Mama had 4 children, but she adopted 2 more. You see? And so that's clear. So that was kind of the scenario. They didn't want to acknowledge us. And so they didn't want to acknowledge us. And of course, you that flows into Robert, kind of taking over the estate and doing this. Everything was a play for him. Everything was a play. Now let's talk about Mary, because Mary, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about housewives. Let's get into it. So Mary, what they did, they dangled money in front of her. She's the type of person that when you put money in front of her face, she gets dollar signs in her eyes, and she's all about the money. Boom, 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 boom. Robert and Mary had already had a relationship, a sexual relationship. I know about this. And so he's a pastor. She's not. To cover that up, it was a cover up. And they covered it up by getting them married. That's why you mentioned Dana. That's why the divorce from Dana kind of gestated, because it was all a cover up.
I'm confused. You're saying to cover up their relationship?
To cover up their relationship, yeah, to cover up their relationship, because there are people that knew. You see what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, let me ask you this. Mary stated on national television that in the will, Mama wanted her to marry Robert.
Okay, so there's two. That brings up 2 problems here. In my paperwork, it says that Rosemary Cosby had no will. He's saying on national television that she had a will. Where's the will? Because if there's a will, where's my 8.33? But I know that there's no will. That's for the show. Come on. She's got to put it up for the show. She's got to sell it. You know what I'm saying? And I understand her situation of trying to sell something, but where she made the mistake was saying that my mama, told her or put it in the will for her to marry Robert. See, that's where all this stuff that you're getting, that's where you're getting it from. She crossed the line. She could have, being on Housewives is not a problem. Going on there, bucking her eyes and doing those things, that's not a problem. Get your money. Get your money. Do what you do. I got no problem with you. But when you cross that line with that, when I heard that, no, you got to stop it, because you know that it's not true.
Let me ask you this. What's your relationship like today with your cousin Mary?
Well, I don't really necessarily have a problem with Mary. You see what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with her. I just know that there was one point where she got played, and there was one point when she came into the knowledge what the situation was, and she just went with it. So my relationship with her, I haven't talked to her. She, I was trying to rectify things with my adoptive father, Bobby Robert, and I was trying to, get things together. She jumps on the phone and said, "Hey, I can give you some clothes from Baby Robert or whatever. I don't need clothes." So she's trying to give me some hand-me-downs to my son, but that's it. I don't have any relationship with her. When we were younger, we were cousins and stuff. So we were, like all the rest of our cousins, we had a relationship, but now I have no, ties with her. She's on her own road and I'm on mine, and that's what it is.
Do you watch the show?
Of course, I have to watch the show. I have to watch the mayhem. Now, if they get canceled, that's fine, but the only reason why I'm watching the show is because she said, "Oh, it was in the will."
Yeah.
And I know that my Bobby Daddy was up on screen, and when she said that was, she told me to marry this or whatever, it was in the will, and he's like, Yeah, I know your Bobby daddy. You know she was lying. I know she was lying. The family knows that she was lying. But it's a show. It's all about, make a show. You want to make a show for it, fine. But the her selling the whole thing with my mother was she crossed the line. Now, as far as the members of the church and members of different things or whatever, I'm not involved with that. That's their thing. I left it. My mother told me the last day she was alive to leave it, walk away, and go live my life and be happy and prosper. And that's what I did.
That's good. That was my next question is you're not associated with Faith Temple anymore, right?
Oh, absolutely not. Now I was there. I at 14 I started playing bass, and then I got a little bit older, and then I went to the Marine Corps. I joined the Marine Corps band. I got out of that, and then I continued playing and touring, and then after that I started my company. So I have not. I am so far removed from all of that. My let me say this. My allegiance was to my mother. I said, look, I will play for you until you die. When you die, I'll stop. I said that a few years before, and of course, when she died, it was like, okay. But she told me the day before. She told me to leave. She said it's not for you. This is not what you're into. So leave. So that's what she told me.
Last question. Do you think that there's any hope for you reconciling a relationship with Bobby Daddy? No.
My brother, he laid my brother in a potter's grave because he was gay.
What's a potter's grave?
Potter's grave is where you're buried in the ground, and there's no tombstone.
Oh.
He did that because he was gay. And he beat us as children, telling us we were gay. Okay, so I watched him my whole childhood beat him. Right? He beat me. I mean, I know what I felt. He would beat us so bad that we would just moan. We would stop crying. We would just moan. He turned up James Cleveland. Water. And he just beat us and beat us. And then he would sweat, and he would get so tired, he would take off his t-shirt, put on another wife beater, and put on his towel, and he'd start up again. So you ask for reconciliation. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, if I see him, somebody's getting naked.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just writing books over here, making music. I'm right. I just make creating characters, and this is what I'm living my life. I'm doing my thing. But if I can shift right back to that anger real quick if I have to deal with him. So I'm not. There is no reconciliation. There is none. If he sees me, run. If I'm in the airport and I see you, run. Because I can't turn it off. Can't do it. There's no forgiveness for what you have done.
Now, I know you and Perry are both ex-Marines, so you guys have that connection. Perry, did you have any last questions for Sam?
Well, huh?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so that was Bobby, Daddy, right? That he was talking about. But how about with Mary? Do you think you maybe see you and Mary ever having a relationship? Just distance, but
yeah. No, it's not. You don't have to be distance. Listen, the system was broken. Get your money, make them pay. That's what hey, she's serving up a situation and making a situation. Some people say bad, but I look at it as a situation that this is what you get. But as far as having a relationship with her, I don't have anything against her. I mean, I'm not advocating for bleaching skin and getting plastic surgery and trying to be somebody that you're not. The girl was Coco. The girl was Coco and beautiful. I don't know if you saw the pictures. She was Coco and beautiful. That's all she needed to do. But money and power. But as far as the relationship with her, Yeah, it's fine, but you know, I'm writing books and music or whatever. I mean, what does she know about the arts? You know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know, I'm reading Tolkien. You know, I'm reading 5,000 pages of Tolkien. I mean, do you think she's going to get into a conversation with me about that?
Mhm.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad that you came on and we cleared up that matter because you got to have the truth out there, no matter,
Yes.
you know.
So let's say it one more time. I don't mean to cut you off. I
Hey,
apologize.
no, go ahead.
Robert Cosby does not mess with children in a sexual nature. But be advised, he is an abuser, physical abuser.
Mm.
Be very careful if you get around him because you can't teach a dog a new trick.
Mm. Well, at least you got your message out there. I'm glad that you came back to clear everything up because what we don't want to do is have anything that's not truthful out there.
Right,
No matter
right.
if you get along with him or not, it's got to be truthful. So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
came back and straightened it out, and I'm glad that you did. So
Okay, and Perry, do you have any other questions before I disappear?
Okay, let me ask you this.
sorry,
Okay,
that's funny.
Okay, go ahead, Perry. Go ahead, Perry. Seriously.
during the course of the show, she had told Jen if she pulled up to a 7-Eleven and it was
Right.
black people outside, that she would leave and go to another one.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, hey, can I tell you something? She's
Yeah,
an
you can.
N-word. She's an N-word till she dies. You check them for come on. Hey, she was drug dealing.
Wait,
She was
what did you
drug
just
dealing.
wait? Hold on. What did you just say?
She was drug dealing. Well, you want to hear it again?
No, I heard
Drug, she was dealing. She was dealing. She was dealing at the church.
Mary
Okay.
Cosby.
What you think? You think she was born of royalty? She's not. Listen, for 4 and 2, that was a tier. Okay? The 4 and 2. We were adopted, but we came to the tier. Mary, she wasn't of the tier. So she's all about that. Listen, she pulled to 7-Eleven. Then she ain't scared.
Oh
Let me
my.
tell you something. You want to know the truth? She
Uh-huh.
liked them Cocoa Brothers. You know what I'm talking about? She like Cocoa Brothers. Listen, she loved them Cocoa Brothers. Robert, Daddy, Baby, Robert was all about the money. She ain't into him. And this show, listen, she could go on. She ain't into him. And I'll tell you this. The show is her exit.
Wait, what? What do you
The show's
mean?
her exit. Oh yeah.
Out the
I mean the
relationship?
show.
Out
Yeah,
the
no,
relationship?
she not into him in the first place.
Ooh.
Listen, she knows. If she watches, she know what I'm talking about. I could get down for a minute, but I'm gonna give you some play. I'm gonna give you some play on the rope. I ain't gonna go there, but she ain't into him, and she was never into him. He was money. He was money.
Oh.
That's right. She's a digger,
Oh.
right? Right. She's a digger, and he's a John.
Oh my God.
And you know what, Sam? To be quite honest with you, you're not the first person that said that.
Mhm.
Okay. But you just reconfirming when you get from different parties here and there and the same basic thing come out. And while you at it, you was a drummer. Now, it was a rumor about a drummer.
Harry.
Oh,
Oh my
Now, see, you know what? See, now you brought it up. Now, the person that sent out that child mess and stuff, but
okay.
I'm gonna give her some play. Okay, I'm gonna give her some play. The drummer. Now, look closely at the video because we're gonna make it fun. We're gonna make it sight-seeking kind of thing. Look at the person who's at the drums. Okay,
Okay.
that one had an affair with Mary in my mother's bed at the same condo that I talked to my Bobby Daddy's father about buying all them expensive shoes.
Oh my God.
Now I told him don't play with me. I gave him a pass. Now I'm putting it on him. But watch the video. Because if you watch the video and you see the person playing the drums, that's her baby. That's that Coco. That's that Coco that she loves so well. She loved that Coco. Laying up in my mother's bed,
Oh wow.
having sex, and doing what she do.
Woo. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
So I can give you. I got a whole lot. You better cut me off. I'm gonna take it one to here. I'm gonna take you on a roller coaster ride.
Because I wasn't gonna stop you, Sam.
Well, that's how Marines do. So what do you want to know, Sharrell? What else do you want to know? You got me because you won't get me again. You won't get me again because I'm too busy working. I can't. But you got me right now, and you got my light on. So what else you want to know? Harry and Sharrell, whatever.
I mean, that's about it. I mean, I think we cleared up all the rumors that are out there about Mary, about the church being a cult now. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so let's talk about this cult thing. People say when my mother ran the church, that it was a cult, okay? And there's people saying, oh, they saying she was God. And hey, I was a kid. So if you was running around saying that, then you need to come forward. I was a kid, right? That was my mom. She took care of me. She put a roof over my head. She put clothes on my back. She bought me Star Wars toys. So you see Star Wars, hey, what are you gonna say? This is where I get down. So I don't know what y'all cats was doing out there. I don't know you cats was out of control. You're 1970, 1975, So Brother 5 beating children with the campaign covers on. So that's as far as my mother's concerned. Hey, for my mom, I know what she taught me. I'm on here now because of what she taught me.
Yeah.
He's not a child molester. He's not. So I have to come on, even though you know the way that I feel about him, but he's not that. And so I have to come out and say that he's not that. So now as far as Mary Martha being a cult, I think you know what I think. It's not a cult. You sleep on that. You know what? Mary Martha's pimping. Mary Martha ain't doing up but pimping some hoes. Pimping. She's out there pimping. You see her game with all the clothes. She's out there with it. Versace. She's pimping. She said, "Give me your money." Hey. She said, "What? Okay, y'all poor."
Yeah.
You heard that whole thing.
Yep.
She out here pimping. You start calling it a cult, but she's out here pimping, but she's using religion to pimp.
Yeah, making money off of it. That's
it ain't not, but it ain't cult. It ain't no cult thing. People ain't out there slitting their wrists for no. She's out here pimping. She's working the head to give the money. She could work the street or the church. But I think, she should have went into politics. She could have been doing a whole lot of pimping.
Is she pretty good at making money, getting money from the church members?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. She's pimping. Who ain't doing nothing but pimping? They call it's a religious cult. And she's doing all these things to people. But no, it's pimping. Look how that's concept. Now, listen, I'm not saying calling women that. Look how the money at. You ain't got no money? Get the ends.
Yeah. So she really doesn't like poor people?
What do you say?
So she really doesn't like poor people?
No, that ain't the issue. She's pimping. She's trying to, she calling them poor, so she give them some more money. This is pimping, man. She's a pimp. That's all. Mary Martha is a pimp. She ain't a cult leader. She's pimping. But you call it a cult because it's religion or whatever. But ain't nobody. Now, as far as you said, someone killing herself and stabbing herself, and I saw that, whatever. I can believe that happened. When you put pressure on somebody, somebody can't be pimped like that. You put too much pressure on certain people, and the pimp, pimp game goes wrong. But I don't think, as far as a cult, I don't know. People may say cult. But I see it for what it is. She's using the church that my mother created. My mother, blood, sweat, and tears, and she did all the work she did. And Bobby Daddy got in there. PP went up. It did. PP went up because he's pretty. So PP went up, right? And he started messing around. And then he had to cover it up. He had to cover it up. What he had to do. So that's the deal. So the cult thing, my mom taught me to love people. My mom taught me to care about people. My mom taught me to not steal from people, to treat people fairly. She didn't teach me to be a homophobe. She taught me to accept people from all races, genders, whatever. It is what it is. This is what she taught me, And so if that's a cult, then I guess it is what it is. But Mary is not a cult. The church is what she does. She's pimping them. She's pimping. That's all because she's good at it. Selling drugs and over here pimping and getting on TV. What you doing, girl? You out your mind.
Last question. Do you think Bobby Daddy ever loved Mama?
Yeah. Yes.
You do?
Yeah, he did. And he loved her the whole time. He loved her. But when she went away, everything went to hell. So see, Mama held everything. Rosemary held everything together. And so when she went away, he was lost. And Mary went to pimping.
Oh my God.
She went to pimping. She said, "Ho." Because that's what he is. To her, he's nothing but a hoe.
Well,
There's some money.
If you had to guess who approached who first in the relationship, Mary or Robert, you think it was Mary?
Oh, Mary put on that game. Hey, Mary put on that game. They say, my family's gonna be that boy shut his mouth. No, Mary put on that game because he was in a weak state. They say he might have been messing around with Mary before my mom passed away.
Right.
And that could be true, but Mary puts on that game. I could tell you stories, but I won't. Mary, I won't tell it.
Well, listen, Sam, this has been a great conversation. It really has been.
Isn't it?
Yes. I love it. I'm so glad that you came by, cleared up the wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good. Yeah. And
Because that's heavy. That's some heavy stuff. We can't have that.
Yeah, we can't have that. But you actually been a joy to talk to. You're kind of funny.
Well, I'm right now. I'm in my creation studio, and I'm free and I'm open. When I go out and I still with my family, I'm a dad, and I'm a dad. That's what I do. I'm a dad. And I might say little things here and there that mesmerize my family. Poor things. I feel sorry for them, but it is what it is. And so I'm glad that you enjoyed me. I enjoyed you, and I enjoy watching you from time to time, talking whatnot. And I enjoy Perry. Now, Perry, you got to get the happy whatever down. They told you to get it down. What's wrong?
Oh, I know. I've been lagging, but if I don't get it down tomorrow, I may have problems. So it will be down.
Okay. Now you need to do like I do. I have a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Right? It takes 3 to 4 minutes to put it up, and it takes 2.5 to put it down. It's real quick. Charlie Brown, baby. Yeah, Charlie Brown.
I really appreciate this interview. Thank you so much, Sam.
Okay.
Thanks
All right.
for coming by. Stay on the line, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.